The party has 3 days until the Festival of Light,
Yeah.
where you've been hired to guard the Aasimar princess during the festivities. Room and board have been secured for you.
Mm-hmm.
The city is buzzing with excitement and endless opportunity.
Yeah.
So, Bakitup, how would you like to spend the next 3 days of downtime?
I will wait in the tavern.
Okay. Are there like any projects you want to work on for your backstory? People you might want to see? Any conversations you want to have with your friends that are here?
DM, you've not given me anything in my backstory to like do here.
Your name is Bakitup.
Yeah.
You made a joke character. You're on your own on this. You got to help me.
Then I wait in the tavern.
All right. Have you guys ever ran into this struggle before? I'm Brayden.
Buddy.
And I feel like that is a typical interaction for people who maybe have just barely started D&D or are transitioning from a game of D&D where their whole goal is to hit things really, really hard.
Smash.
And now they're trying to make a character. Or in the case of Bakitup, maybe somebody who wasn't meant to be a long-term character, and now they need to make a backstory, right? So we want to go over a few different backstory tropes, how we like to make backstories, a few ways that you might be able to make a character that's a little bit more engaging, a little bit easier to role play, a little bit more fun to play inside this role playing game. So what are some of the typical tropes that we might have?
My entire family was killed and I'm so sad.
No, what are the tropes in D&D?
What? They were?
No.
Yes. Typically there's my entire family was killed by goblins or bandits and I am so sad and need to go avenge them.
Right. There's also the level 20 character stuck in the level 1's body. Somebody who has slayed the dragon, they've beat the lich, they've destroyed the big bad, and they're level 2. Right?
Yeah, it doesn't really make sense. And then my favorite, the just straight badass who is so good at everything and kills everything one shot.
Yeah, he's Han Solo mixed with Indiana Jones. He is the guy. He is him.
Yep.
So
I am he.
I am he is him, and we are he. Those are some of the typical tropes which can work. You just need to mess with them a little bit. Right? You can have to fix it. So if we want to take the tragic backstory,
Yeah.
if we take that one you mentioned before where just they're killed and you want to go avenge the family and kill the backstory, what are kind of the options of play that leads you to? How far can you role play that character? What really happens?
I mean, anything can be fixed, but usually I feel like it goes to my family was killed, so anytime I see bandits, I just want to kill them.
Mm. And then, maybe the DM wants to add, okay, you killed the bandits. In there, you find a letter, and it turns out they're working for a bigger, badder bandit.
I will kill those bandits now.
Okay, well, those bandits are actually part of a crime organization.
Okay, that's deep. Kill them.
Right. And it just kind of goes. And it gets very dry very, very quick.
And even then, you're leaving a lot of the work to the DM because all you gave them was family was killed.
Right. So instead, you can say something like maybe you are the eldest son in a family of bakers, right? And maybe these bandits came through and attacked the family business. They didn't kill your family, but they did kill the source of income. They destroyed the bakery that your family has worked so hard to build up. And maybe they stole a recipe book from your family that you need to get back so they can start making their baked goods and start having a living again.
Yeah,
right?
we spent generations perfecting all these recipes.
Right. With that one, there are a few things that can happen. Right. You can go through and pursue the bandits. You can beat them and you can recover the book. But since there's more to your story, your parents are still alive, your family's still there, just getting the book back isn't enough. Right? You might need to get money for them. You might need to get some gold that you can send back so they can rebuild a new store.
Rebuild the store, buy new ingredients, restart the whole business instead of killing the bad guys.
Right.
And that's it.
That introduces some fun role play opportunities, right? It could be, all right, well, Bakitup is at this new village, and he's feeling worse for wear. He needs some potions. He needs some healing. Maybe because he's sending a good chunk of his gold back to his family, he's going to skimp out on the health potions a little bit.
Yeah, sleep it off, and then I'll send 5 extra gold back to Pop.
Right. Or maybe through all this, you find out that your dad used to be one of the bandits. right? And they stole the recipe book from him. They purposely destroyed his business to get back at him for whatever reason. And you have to explore that and explore what that means with your family when you confront them like, hey, what did you do? Why are they attacking you? This is messed up. Why were you a bad guy? Right? And there's just a little bit more play that you get to add into there, and it gives the DM a little bit more to work with as far as creating a backstory for you or creating an engaging world with your backstory.
Yeah, and it's just a little bit different than what everyone else does, which is nice.
Oh, yeah. Then there's the power gamer guy, right? There's the super, super strong, I killed everybody and I'm amazing. Also, it's really hard to pick up a sword because my strength is only like 15 right now.
Yep.
Right? What are some of the ways that we could fix that?
I think the biggest one is giving your character a reason why all of a sudden they're the same power level as everyone else who, that guy, his family's bakery just burned down, and he's somehow the same as you who's already killed like 3 dragons and saved an entire city. So you need to give yourself a really good reason why. Maybe you were true polymorphed by a powerful wizard, and now you're stuck in like this weakling's body. You need to retrain, you need to focus and power back up so that you can go and do whatever it is you want to do. Reclaim your former glory, basically. Maybe you got a little bit too powerful and made a deal with the devil, but you got tricked and he stole all of that power.
That would be one way that sucks and gets you reset back to level 1. I think we've all seen that mobile game, right?
The mobile game?
Yeah, I see it on Instagram all the time where it's a knight that gets to level 999 and he's fighting the princess or devil lady, and then he gets knocked back down to the very, very bottom. He's level 1.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
No? Anyways, then there's also the
made a deal with the devil, Instagramme.
The badass character, right? Who can do anything and everything, and he is absolutely amazing. But there's a little bit of problem with that. His stats might not align with what he wants to do.
Yep.
Right?
Unfortunately, in D&D, you cannot have typically, you don't have 20 strength, 20 dex, 20 con, 20 wisdom, 20 intelligence, 20 charisma.
Right. So you can still play this character, but you're going to want to play the journey of getting to that super powerful character. So instead of, all right, well, I'm level 1 and I can do everything I want to do and everything you want to do, but better, maybe you have a few ways you can roleplay your character of, well, I want to search for these bracers of giant strength so I can increase my strength, right? I want to find this tome of wisdom so I can read it with the wizard or with the wizard's help or with the cleric's help and get a little bit stronger, right? A little bit smarter, a little bit more wise.
Or even just talk to your smart wizard friend and figure out maybe you're not as smart as you thought you are, and figure out what you are good at and what you're maybe not as good as you thought you were at.
Yeah, and maybe you want to spend a lot of your time trying to train and figure out how to use what you are good at to be the most powerful, badass version of yourself once you've got that all figured out.
Yeah.
And then those are just a few examples of what you can do to help build up your character off of similar kind of generic cliche tropes.
You take the cliches and make them a little bit more palpable.
Right, but you can do so much more with your characters. D&D 5e actually has a few ways that you can build your character with fun backstory role-playing kind of built-in mechanics if you go through the actual books themselves to make your character. So some of those ones, if we were to take Bakitop before and give him some of these to add a little bit more depth to him besides just a joke name, what we might do.
So the main things you pick from are personality traits, your ideals, your bonds, and your flaws, which are important to have. So we just rolled through real quick. A personality trait he might have is, I misuse long words and to attempt to sound smarter.
Yeah.
Could be fun to throw into everyday conversation. It makes you be a little bit more proactive as a player because you have to pick those long words to misunderstand.
Yeah, you have to be a little bit more engaging. Because something I find a lot is somebody might say, all right, DM, I want to talk to the merchant and explain to him that if he doesn't give us this gold for a discount, then maybe something bad might happen. And the DM goes, okay, roll for persuasion, which is mechanically a thing. But if you're playing a role-playing game, it's kind of a little boring, where instead you can try to sound smarter and misuse the different long words in an attempt to persuade the individual, right? I can't think of an example for what that might be right now.
Bad player.
Bad player. Sorry, I'm distracted with trying to get this cat to stop hitting the camera.
Why?
because they're hitting the camera and the lights. All right. Then we have our bonds.
Ideals.
Ideals. Where am I at?
The ideals.
Okay. Then we have our ideals. And an ideal for Bakita would be fairness.
Mm-hmm.
No one should get preferential treatment before the law, and no one is above the law. Which could lead into the story of, bandits kind of destroyed his hometown, and he wants to get revenge for it, and he's upset with the unfairness of the world.
Yeah, he has a certain ideal now about life based on something that's happened in his past, which is cool. And then the bond, I protect those who cannot protect themselves. This is kind of what he does in his everyday. That's like his main driving goal. If he sees someone who's getting bullied or their bakery is getting burned down, he is more incentivized to help.
Right. Or he might have a flaw, right? He might go through and see all of these tragedies in the world and see all the bandits that are causing havoc, that are burning down everybody's bakery. Why is it always a bakery? And he might think to himself, secretly, it might be a little bit better if I were a tyrant lording over the land. Maybe I could do some bad things, but make it better for everybody else.
Yeah. You burn down all the bakeries and then you make them out of metal instead of wood.
It does two things, right? Sure, yeah, you have your bakery, but when it gets really hot and they try to burn it down, you just bake the bread more.
Yeah, it's just a little bit burnt crispy.
How could it go wrong?
Today's recipe is crispy, brought to you by bandits.
And then you can also add depth to your character with social interactions, right? So I think we see something a lot, which would be there's a several-day journey to get from destination A to destination B. You're going from one city to a small village off to the side. And the DM might say, okay, what do you guys want to do during your travel?
We travel carefully.
And that's it?
Oh, I'll take first watch so that we're safe.
Yeah, I guess let's just
roll a persuasion or a perception check, rather.
That's the one. Good job, Baki.
Yeah.
Right. So
did I see anything?
So you can do that, and while that might increase or progress the mechanics of the game, it doesn't really progress the social interaction, the role play portion of this game. Instead, you could choose somebody else that's in your party, right? Maybe we have one of my characters, Thorak, who is a cleric and a little bit of a capitalist man himself. And Baki could grab him over and want to have a conversation with him while he is taking first watch or while he's leading the cart to get to the next destination.
Yeah, just like on the cart or like, hey, while we travel, Thorak, I noticed that every time we go to a new village or city, you buy all of the healing potions.
Well, yeah, because if I buy all the healing potions for a city, right, then I control the supply. The demand is still there, but the supply is diminished because I'm not giving them out just for free. So I can then take these people and I can charge them a subscription plan where I will give them their health potions, but they owe me money over time with interest, of course. And, a few things happen from it. Sure, I control all the pricing, but I can give it to them for cheaper that first day. So they get a cheaper discount on healing potions, short term. And long term, I make a lot more money.
That does sound good because now it's not just the rich people who can afford the potions because they're really expensive.
Oh, yeah.
Now, anyone can get healing.
Exactly. You get it. So one day you'll be a capitalist manual. I have a proposition for you. And something like that can allow the characters to keep talking, keep going, keep interacting, and build a relationship other than I know Buddy outside of the game. I talked to him outside the game, and his character is Bakitup, right? Now Thorak knows Bakitup, and they have interactions that they're working together.
Yeah. And I mean, you could always use that later, or maybe it's just something for that moment that you have and add something, but nothing that like comes up again. It's up to you. But every little bit of that is better for everyone at the table.
And then one that I really enjoy doing is role-playing the skill checks that I might make, right? Because there might be something comes up. Maybe your party is hunting a vampire. Okay. For whatever reason,
because of Twilight, probably.
Yeah. You saw the shiny things, and you're like, I don't like that. I want to destroy that. I hear they have 3 nipples. That's weird.
Wait, what?
Isn't there a joke that Edward had 3 nipples in the 3rd movie?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know either. I've never seen them.
Maybe that's his flaw.
That's his character's
the one.
flaw. And there are a few ways that you want to get information from it, right? There's what I consider a wrong way.
The classic way. DM, can I make a check to see if vampires are weak to water?
Why is this bad?
Because it's using Buddy's knowledge, the player, about a possible weakness of vampires as a whole, whether it applies to D&D or not. I actually don't even know, but I could use it. This is super lazy because now you have to come up a reason why my character may or may not know that.
Yeah.
If you want to play the game with me, or you could say no.
Right, I might say, okay, well, Bakitup is just a little baker from a far off town. Go ahead and roll a history check.
Yeah, maybe you heard it from someone. But
Yeah, you were talking to somebody inside a town whose bakery got destroyed, but it got destroyed by vampires, and they said the only thing that helped them was making a flow of water so they couldn't cross to them. And I have to add some weird, convoluted kind of story that tries to make sense, but might not really fix it. It's a spur of the moment improv decision.
Yeah, and if you're lucky, I fail my check and I don't know anything about them, but now every other real person at the table was just reminded of a weakness of vampires, and they might try to make the same check until one of us succeeds, or we all fail and then we try to shoehorn in running water anyway because we think it will probably work, even though our characters have no reason to think that.
Right, which cause all sorts of issues, and it can just be really hard because as a DM, I can't let you guys roll until you succeed, because that's just like advantage on steroids and a few more steroids.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a slippery slope to gaming the mechanics of the game, I guess.
Yeah.
Instead, you could do something maybe a little bit different. Maybe Bakitup isn't a fighter. Maybe Bakitup's a wizard, and they might say something else.
Yeah, hey, I've been in libraries studying and studying and studying throughout my many years of becoming this very powerful level 3 wizard that I am. Maybe I've read about vampires somewhere. Can I roll to see?
Yeah, go ahead and roll a history check for me.
Bam, and now you have plenty of ammo to...
Yeah, I can say, well, while you're going through and you were reading up on some of the holier magics, right? You ran across this section on vampires. While doing that one, you found a few weaknesses that they might have. One of them is rushing water. They take extra damage when going through water because something about the natural flow of the world does not work with them. And if you were to find a way to get them into water or get across from water, they wouldn't be able to follow you, or they'd have to take a lot of damage to do so.
What if I pee on them?
No, that's pee.
It's water.
It's pee.
Moving.
Nope, you need a large body of water to move. You can't just throw a bucket of water on them and say it's good. It has to be something that's going to be moving even after the damage is dealt.
Okay. Now, everyone at the party, I can relay that, and we have something to go off of.
So it's essentially the same exact thing. He's asking the same question, but he's doing it in a way that his character would actually know, which allows a little bit more of a role-play interaction, lets you get more involved inside your character and less involved with the straight mechanics of the game. And then, with that one, I guess, Bakitup. You have 3 days until the Festival of Light. What would you like to do during this time?
I want to go talk to some locals to figure out more information on those bandits that burned down my bakery.
Perfect. We can definitely do that. You walk around for a little while. You do find another bakery, surprisingly enough. And after talking to them, you find out that, yeah, they had their recipe book stolen and they had the bakery destroyed. They're currently in the process of cleaning it up.
Maybe they have an eldest son that I could recruit to help us out on our mission.
They've already left.
I will find them. Now I have somewhere to go. Maybe that lead doesn't go anywhere right now, but I did just hear about Thorax's healing potion scheme. I mean,
business.
Perfectly legitimate business. Maybe I want to help out because it seemed like a good idea to me. So I'm going to go around town and try to sell healing subscriptions and Thorax said he would give me a cut of the pie.
Yeah, exactly. So what you do, right, is you're going to go through, you're going to get all the healing potions, and maybe when you're talking to one of the merchants, you can get them in on this plan, right, where they buy all the potions around, and they will sell the potions to the commoners at a fractional price, right? Maybe they pay 2 gold today, and then next week they pay another 2 gold, and then another 2 gold, and for every person that you get working under you, you get an extra 2% of profits, and the rest of profit will come out to me. Think of it as like a kind of a funnel, right? You go up and you make larger. Yeah. More and more people are going to be paying for you, which goes down. You get more money, and then it goes down to the very bottom. And
Trickle down economics.
You got it. Exactly.
Nailed it.
So now we have a little bit more of a character dynamic, right? Thorak and Bakitup were able to make an interaction of everywhere they go. They're scamming the locals. I mean, they are helping the locals get the healing that they need immediately for a lower cost up front, And Bakutep has something he wants to do at every village he goes to, every town he goes to see if he can track down these bandits and figure out why it is that they are destroying bakeries and stealing all their recipe books.
Yep. And then, that was just one conversation between two of the party members. Imagine if everyone at the table is doing that with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
We'll never run out of things to do.
Exactly. Very quickly, you start leaving the mechanics of the game behind as far as interactions and skill checks, and you start making reasons for why your character to be doing something, and you have precedents to go off of for why your character might know something, right? It might be, hey, DM, I noticed that this building was caught on fire. Seeing the different bakeries inside the town, am I able to make maybe a nature check or something of the sort to see if it was burnt down in a similar fashion? And maybe we can find out, oh yeah, it was burnt down the same way. You can see that the starting points are where the fire is the most powerful, where the scorch marks are the highest, is the same and mimics the bakeries burnt down.
There. Now I kind of want to play as just like an arson investigator / bakery specialist.
Of course.
/ health potion funnel system guy.
I want to be in a reverse funnel, or I guess a normal funnel, and I want to burn things down.
Sounds good.
Yeah. With that one, I would love for you guys to go down to the comment section below, maybe give some of your helpful tips on how to make an engaging character for roleplay, or see if this is anything that's new to you. If anything we said stood out to you and you're like, oh, actually, I'm going to involve that into our characters, and come back in a couple weeks and let us know how it went.
Definitely.
All right. Well, have a good one, guys.
See ya.
Bye.